What's good, family? It's your man the YB, back once again. So, I didn't cover this at the time, but this whole thing that's happened since has got me more intrigued than I was before. So, for you man who don't know, Jermell Charlo was meant to be fighting Tim Tszyu, some next Australian Donny, next month in, I think, was it late January or early Feb? Sometime around there. Anyway, 2-2s. Oh yeah, and also bear in mind, there was a smoky press conference. Jermell was giving it, giving it all that kind of action. Yeah, giving it that raw dog action, which is fine. And I was quite gassed up. The odds, I think you put about 100 on, you get 150 back. 50% profit you get on a Jermell Charlo win. I like the odds. I think Jermell Charlo for me, too big, too slick, too strong for Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is a bit, crude, I'd say. Now, with all that in mind, I was looking forward to the fight. I was looking forward to making some coins. I was looking forward to watching Jermell Charlo punch this guy up. However, next thing I know, I'm minding my business. Bear in mind, I've got the coins on the fight already. And I hear Jermell Charlo out of the fight with an injury. I thought, what the? Get this corny guy out of here. There's always something with these guys. I wouldn't mind you, but he was barking off in the press conference. How can a guy that's barking off in the press conference have an injury now? I don't know, man. There's something, especially when it's around Christmas as well. How are you being injured around Christmas? Now, of course, the fight's in 6 weeks, so he's going to be training through Christmas, but is he going that hard in the paint through Christmas to be busting his hand up? And you got to bear in mind as well, people, yeah, these guys are boxers, so yeah, they can get hand injuries, but you know you've got to fight in 4 weeks. I don't know, again, I've never boxed to that extent. How common a hand injury is? I just can't believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't believe experienced guys are really breaking their hand 4 weeks out. I'm sceptical. Anyway, it appears I'm not the only one who finds this whole situation a little bit iffy. The WBO has come out and demanded Jermell Charlo issues proof of his injuries. Wow. Here we go. WBO issues medical certification letter to Jermell Charlo requiring explanation of the injury and his recovery. Jermell Charlo has already taken steps to silence those who questioned the validity of his untimely injury. The undisputed junior middleweight champion still has work to do with at least one sanctioning body. A notice of medical certification was issued to Charlo by the WBO, who has called for a detailed report on the broken hand injury suffered during training camp that delayed his ordered title defence versus Australia's Tim Tszyu. The two were due to meet on January 28th, Showtime main event at the Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, but it was announced on Christmas Eve. Do you know what I mean? It was announced on Christmas Eve that the bout was postponed and without a new fight date in tow. Mr. Charlo is hereby ordered to submit within the next 5 days upon issuance of this notice a detailed medical explanation of his injury, findings, recovery prognosis and his orthopedic specialist opinion as to when he will be physically and medically cleared to compete and return to active competition. Charlo will have until January 1st to provide such proof, though a modest extension to the next business day is likely given, that the date falls on a weekend and holiday. Ironically, the letter was submitted less than 24 hours after Houston's Charlo took to social media to in fact provide proof of injury. The reigning lineal undisputed champion posted a picture showing a short arm cast wrapped around his left hand, wrist and forearm, accompanied by a medical report from Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. The letter was dated December 23rd, 3 days after injuring his hand during a mid-week sparring session. Wait a minute. If he hurt his hand 3 days, what? I don't know. You might tell me. Does it take you 3 days to get to a hospital? I don't know. Where are they doing that at? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how. I've heard about a lot of strikes going on. So maybe it's taking 3 days these times to get to the emergency services. But you'd think a man's got a big fight in 6 weeks. You'd think, okay, I bust my hand. Let me go get it fixed today. No? Let's take 3 days. And these guys, it's all iffy, man. It's all iffy. We're talking about the multi-million-dollar level, people. This ain't the little leagues where things are slow. At the multi-million-dollar level, you go straight in. You're not queuing with everyone else. Do you understand? You go straight in. At the multi-million-dollar level, yeah, if you get an injury at 7 p.m. on that day, by 9 p.m, you're in there. You know what I'm saying? You're in there. That's how it goes. I've seen Floyd Mayweather after a fight before, and he's straight in there. I forgot what it was, but he was in hospital somehow. He was in there, straight in there. Yeah? They don't sit around waiting for things. I don't know, it's always something with these guys. It's always something. I'm going to look up when was the last time Jermell Charlo fought? Jermell. Box rec. Let's have a look the last time he fought, because I might be wrong, but these guys seem to be in the ring once a blue moon. Super irritating. He last fought, okay, fair enough. He last fought on May 14th. And then the time before that. So yeah, he's fighting about twice a year, it works out. Wait, is it? No, he's not. No, sorry, he's not fighting twice a year. He fought Brian Castaño the first time. He's fighting once a year, look. Literally once a year. He fought in 2019. He fought in 2020. He fought in 2021. He fought in 2022. My man's fighting once a year. And now, by the time of this injury, guess what? It's going to be once a year again. He was just fixing to fight once every 6 months. And already, look, his last fight was on May. You best believe, at best, he'll be fighting in May again. What is with these guys? I'm sorry, yeah, you can't be an undisputed champion and be fighting once a year. It's bad enough being an undisputed champion and fighting twice a year. Fighting twice a year as an undisputed champion means challengers only get a shot every 2 years. Do you understand? It takes 2 years for one challenger to get a shot. So you can't be doing it. What do these guys think this is? I understand you get injuries, yeah, but I kid you not, I'm sure, and now I'm not going to sit here and lie, I am not a Jermell Charlo expert, but I'm sure, yeah, these guys, there was always something with these guys. There's always some pull-out or injury or postponement. It's not the first time, it's pretty consistent. There's always something going on and some reason they can't fight when they're supposed to be fighting. And all of us can appreciate every now and then things go wrong. That's life, but there's always something with these guys, man. I'm sure the Castaño fight had to be rescheduled. So yeah, listen. I haven't looked at Jermell Charlo's pictures. And these receipts he's got. In fact, you know what? Let's have a look. Jermell Charlo Twitter. Let's have a look at the Twitter. Let's see what evidence he's posted up. Because I think that, I don't know, man, these guys. Where is it? Let's have a look. Oh, stop it. Stop it. That looks like a paid one. That's not a proper cast. That one looks like a paid one. You know the ones where you buy privately. Get this guy out of it. That's not a real cast. I don't care what no one says. That's not a real cast, man. That's a fake one. That kind of cast, yeah, is the one. You can go to a shop and buy that one. Do you know what I mean? You can go to the shop, 100%. That's not a real cast. A real cast is the one that they kind of paper mache. That's not the real one. That's one of them fake ones you can slip on. I could go and get one of them ones and show you my hand like that, 100%. That's not a real cast. A champion is defined by the adversity he overcomes. Get in the ring. Yeah? Wait a minute. The whole point of having adversity is to go through it. It's not to pull out. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, am I saying Charlo, my coins are glad he didn't just go in there with a bus hand. But really, if you're going to talk about overcoming things, usually you push on. How many times have we heard people, have fights, win them, and then say, people didn't know this, I had a broken hand. That's what people, innit? If you really want to talk about overcoming things, that's what you do. You don't pull out, back the whole thing up, and then start talking about how you're overcoming. What have you overcome? You've delayed the fight. You haven't, do you know what I'm saying? In fact, that's the opposite of overcoming. You've allowed an obstacle to get in your way, categorically. Yeah? But nah, man, I don't believe it. And white people, look, he's in hospital, listen. You don't know what he's there for. You don't. All you've seen him doing is sitting down in hospital chair. You don't know what he's there for. And the fact it's 3 days later, he probably thought, we best get to the hospital and sit down and take a picture. Do you know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo was seen in the clinic he has sustained a left scaphoid fracture and fifth metacarpal base fracture. He will be placed in a short-term arm cast at this time. It is my recommendation that Jermell should refrain from upper extremity training that involves impact for 2 months. Oh my God, it's a wrap for this fight, folks. Because if he can't do any punching for 2 months, that means and by the way, that's at best 2 months. So if everything's gravy, he'll be able to punch in March. Now, if you've been not training for 2-3 months, an 8-week camp ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna want a 3-4 week camp, 3-4 month camp. Why? Well, you need to get the base fitness for the first 2 months, and then you do the camp. 8 weeks isn't 0 to hero. You know what I'm saying? You don't get undisputed champion fit in 8 weeks after doing nothing. We're talking about, at best, this fight is going to be July. At best, July. Because he'll start training in March. 4 months from March is July. Shocking. Get this. I ain't trying to hear no more from this guy. There's always something with these people. Super annoying. Now, he's showing a picture of his hand. I don't see nothing on there. I don't know, is it me? There's nothing there. I don't see no swelling. I don't see no... I don't know, what? You man tell me, what are we supposed to be seeing here? What are we supposed to be seeing? I don't see nothing. There's nothing there. Oops. Is there a little bit... I think, mate, I guarantee you, it looks to me like he was slapping his hand just there. It looks to me like he was slapping his hand just there to try and get some redness. Anyway, listen. YB, you're a Charlo hater, listen. I told you I had coins on him to smoke on Tim Tszю's pack. What we ain't going to do is waste my time. I can't stand these ones. Every time, you know what I mean? Every time it's one of them ones, there's some bullshit comes along. Every time without fail. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell 100%.